Guys, today we are going to study core mathematics, and the topic under consideration is three-set problem or the Venn diagram. So we are going to solve three-set problems using the Venn diagram. But before that, when you talk of a Venn diagram, there is just a mathematical or pictorial representation that shows a logic relationship between sets. And this Venn diagram was named after this English mathematician and logician John Venn, because he pioneered the use of the Venn diagram, or in other words, he invented the use of the Venn diagram. Okay. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to appreciate the beauty of the Venn diagram, in what ways can we even apply the Venn diagram, and also to be able to solve set-related problems. Always, when you are given a three-set problem like this, or the Venn diagram, you will see there are three ovals in this rectangle. So these three ovals represent three distinct things under consideration. And this universal set talks about the totality of all things under consideration. So, assuming we are taking this first circle to denote for number of, let's say, French students. This one as number of English students, and the next one as number of P students. So with this one, if you sum everything in this circle up, it should give you the value you are having here. When you sum everything here up, it should give you this value, and when you sum everything up here, it should also give you this value. So, since these are the three ovals relating to French, English, and P students, we will see that this oval is intersecting this one at this region. So this portion is the number of French students intersection number of English. So the intersection between this oval and that one is this portion. Now, if you consider this set E and the T, they are intersecting at this portion. So we can say that their intersection is this portion. Again, F and T are also intersecting, and they are intersecting at this region. So this region tends to become the intersection of M, F, and T. There is a small portion here. This region serves as the intersection for all the three sets. If you take this one out, you are going to have other three portions. So this portion, we call it number of French intersection English only. This is the only aspect. When you come to this portion too, if you take this one out, it gives you English intersection P only for this portion. And this portion also explains French intersection P only. The reason why we've added only to it is that we've taken this small portion out, because this portion was found everywhere. When you try to take the intersection between the three sets, it was like everywhere. So if you want to find the only aspect, you try to take this one off. Okay. We are now left with this aspect. So this aspect or this portion, we call it French only. We are denoting the F, E, and T for French, English, and P respectively. So this portion is read as French only. That is the portion for French only. If you also consider this one, this portion also explains English only. And this portion also tries to explain P only. So with this one, don't bother much because the understanding will come when we try solving some question. So, and also this aspect, you see, whenever there is a totality of something, or when you get to a school and you are trying to fish out number of students who prefer the speaking of French, English, and P, there are probably some students who neither like the speaking of the French, English, nor what, the P, but they are part of the school. So we call them the complement. So they are found outside the circles. So this portion, we call them the complement. And as you already know, the universal set talks about the totality of the things under consideration. So let's wrap up and put them into practice by taking the first example. Okay, so guys, let's take the first example. In a survey of 200 students of a school, it was found that 120 study mathematics, 90 study physics, and 70 study chemistry. 40 study mathematics and physics, 30 study physics and chemistry, 50 study chemistry and mathematics, and 20 study none of the subjects. So we have to find A, the number of students who study all the three subjects, and B, we have to find how many students who study physics only, chemistry only. So this is a problem in three sets where we are going to deploy the idea of the Venn diagram to solve. But before that, we have to write in certain things. So, solution. So we are going to let U denote the universal set. The number of students in the school, they are 200. So we have to first write, let U be the students in the school. And you know that the number of U is 200 because there are 200 students in the school. And the three things under consideration, we are having mathematics, physics, and what? Chemistry. So we denote M as what? Mathematics students. So, number of mathematics students, it was found out that 120 study mathematics, so they are 120. Then the next item to talk of is physics students. So we denote it with P. So P equal to physics Therefore, number of physics students, so we check 90 studying physics. So 90, there are 90 students studying physics. So write 90. Then the last subject to talk of is chemistry. It says 70 study chemistry. So we denote C for chemistry. So chemistry students. And they are 70 study chemistry. So number of C is equal to 70. Okay. So there are 40 study mathematics and physics. So it means that those who study math and physics are 40. So that one we can write it as number of M intersection P is equal to 40, because it said 40 students study mathematics and physics, 30 study physics and chemistry. So number of physics intersection C as a chemistry, 30 study physics and chemistry, so they are 30. 50 study chemistry and mathematics, so CM, number of C intersection M, they are 50. 20 study none of the subjects, so that is the complement. So that one is number of M union P union C, complement. They are out 20. They prefer none of the subjects under consideration. And we have to also let a variable represent those who are interested in all the three subjects. So maybe let X represent students who study all three subjects. So now let's try to represent this information on a Venn diagram. So the universal set is 200, and we are having, so we can denote this over as the mathematics students. And number of M was given as 120. Number of P is given as 90, and number of C is given as 70. Now, when you want to make it very simple, it is more advisable to first find for the intersection of all the three sets. In some questions you'll be given, but even if you are not given, the variable that you denoted or you said we should represent that one as the intersection for all the three sets, make sure you put that one there before you move on to the other regions, because when you do that, it makes your work very simple. And in this, we said we are denoting, or we are letting X to represent the number of students who study all the three subjects. So we put our X here. And in the question, we saw that 20 students prefer none of the subjects. So they are the complement. So they are found outside the circle. Now, after writing the corresponding value or variable for the intersection of all the three sets, you now move on to these areas. The number of students who prefer two subjects only. So you just find the variable or the value for this side, you come to this portion, then you do for this portion. So we've been given that the number of students who prefer mathematics and physics are 40. Mathematics and physics are 40. But in actual sense, mathematics and physics, this is the region for mathematics and physics. So if already here is x, and the totality of this portion is 40, and we want to find only for this portion, it will be 40 minus x. Okay, physics intersection chemistry. Physics intersection chemistry is giving us 30. So it means that the whole of this portion should give us 30. So if you are having part of it truncated off as x, if you want to find the remaining portion, then that one will be 30 minus x. Also, if you want to find for the number of mathematics intersection chemistry, that one is giving mathematics and chemistry as 50. So that 50 means that the whole of this region should give us 50. So if part of it is labeled as x, so the remaining aspect will be just 50 minus x. Now, after solving for these regions, you now proceed on to solve for the onlys. What do I mean by the onlys? Mathematics only, physics only, and chemistry only. And this is the region for mathematics only. This region is for maths only. This region is for physics only, and this region is also for chemistry only. So you can let a variable say A, B, and C denote mathematics only, physics only, and chemistry only respectively. So now you solve for mathematics only. So for maths only, as I said, when you sum everything in this oval up, it should give you 120. So we are going to use that ideology. So A plus 40 minus x plus x plus 50 minus x should give us 120. Negative x nullifies positive x. So we now left with A plus 40 plus 50 gives you 90. Gives you 90 minus x equal to 120. Now you try to make A the subject. So A will be equal to 120 minus 90 plus x. And your A, 120 minus 90, give you 30 plus what? X. So it means that this portion is 30 plus what? X. So we move on to solve for physics only. So physics only. That one too, we are going to sum everything in this circle up, and it should give us 90. And we've already denoted that portion as B. So it will be B plus 40 minus x plus 30 minus x equal to 90. So we have B plus 40 minus x plus x plus 30 minus x should give us 90. So negative x cancels positive x. B plus 40 plus 30 gives 70 minus x equal to 90. And I said when you get to this portion or this aspect or this step, you try to make B the subject. So B will be equal to 90 minus 70 plus x. So B 90 minus 70 will give you 20 plus x. So it means b is 20 plus x. Then you just write it there. B is equal to 20 plus x. Then we also solve for C only, mean chemistry only. So that one will be C plus 50 minus x plus x plus 30 minus x equal to 70. Because when you sum everything in this overlap, it should give you the 70. So for chemistry only, so it goes like C plus 50 minus x plus x plus 30 minus x should give us 70. So negative x cancels positive x. So we now get C plus 50 plus 30 gives 80 minus x equal to 70. Making C the subject, we get C is equal to 70 minus 80 plus x. 70 minus 80 gives negative 10. So we get C equal to negative 10 plus x. And you can also write it in a different form as C equal to x minus 10, because negative 10 plus x is the same as x minus 10. So it means that our C equal to x minus 10. Now we've been able to solve for the onlys. So you can just clean the variables off. Now we are going to solve for the value of x. And the value of x will also tell us the number of students who prefer all the three subjects. How do you solve for x? We are going to sum everything in this rectangle up. Okay, to solve for x, we are going to sum everything in this rectangle up and equate it to 200. Or in other words, we are going to sum all the variables and the constants inside these circles up, plus the one outside those circles, then we equate it to 200, because those 20 people are also part of the universal set, despite the fact that they have no preference. So in order to save you can just start from the onlys, you add this to that, then you come to these areas plus the x plus the one outside equal to 200. So let's make it simple. So we are going to get everything up. We are going to get 30 plus x plus 20 plus x plus x minus 10. The one for the onlys. Now plus 40 minus x plus 50 minus x plus 30 minus x plus our x plus the 20 should give us 200. So this positive x cancels the negative x, negative x, positive x, they go. Positive x nullifies the negative x. So now we are left with 30 plus 20 minus 10 plus 40 plus 50 plus 30 plus 20 plus our x equal to 200. So 30 plus 20 gives 50. 50 minus 10, 40. 40 plus 40 is 80. 80 plus 50 gives 130. 130 plus 30 gives 160. 160 plus 20 gives 180. So we are having 180 plus x equal to 200. So in finding for x, we can see that x will equal to 200 minus 180. So it implies that our x is equal to 20. Now, After getting for the value of x, the next step is to redraw, because the diagram sounds or looks complicated, so you have to simplify it. So you redraw. Okay, so we are going to simplify it because it looks a little bit complicated. Now, this aspect was 30 plus x, and if x is equal to 20, it means that we are going to get 30 plus 20, which is what? 50. So we put 50 here. This portion for physics only is 20 plus x, and x being 20, we are going to get 20 plus 20, which is 40. And here, x minus 10. If x is 20, it will be 20 minus 10, which is 10. This portion is 40 minus x. So it will be 40 minus 20, which is 20. 30 minus x will be 30 minus 20, which is 10. And 50 minus x will be 50 minus 20, which is 30. And already, since the intersection of all the three sets is x, and having gotten the value of x to be 20, we can just put 20, 11. So you see, the diagram has been simplified. Now, you can proceed on by answering the questions. So all the solutions to the questions are in this diagram. Okay. So the first question stated that we should find the number of students who study all the three subjects. So A, from the diagram. So from this diagram, we will see that 20 students study all the three subjects. So 20 students study all three subjects. And the BI said we should find the number of students who study physics only. And the second one was chemistry only. Okay, so from the diagram, physics only is this portion. So we can, this one, just look and see. So you see that 40 students study physics only. So also from the diagram, 40 students study physics only. The II part for the B, the number of students who study chemistry only. So look and see. From the diagram, you can see that this portion represents chemistry only. So they are 10. So you can say that from the diagram, students study chemistry only. So when you do it like this, it makes answering of the question just a mere look and see. Let's try to test for something. As I said, when we sum everything up, you should get 120. So 50 plus 20 gives 70. 70 plus 20 gives 90. 90 plus 30, you get 120. So it's correct. Let's sum everything in this circle up, whether we get 90. 40 plus 20 gives 60, plus 20 gives 80, plus 10 gives you 90. Let's take for this aspect 2, whether we get 70. 30 plus 20 gives 50, plus 10 gives 60, plus 10 gives 70. So it means that every question that you use this diagram to solve for will yield a correct answer. So, having gotten to this point, I'll give you some trials so that you work on them and present your answers in the comment section. The trial question can be found in the description below. You can forward your answers, your questions at the comment section. See you next time. Bye-bye.